what many people have been looking forward to, a tornado that just rips through Washington, D.C., and that's Trump-nado. The president wasted zero time showing off to the cameras all the executive orders, one after another, after another, after another, just blasting through them and signing some extremely significant and consequential things. And on the plus side, many of the executive orders, well, they seem to be very pro-US. And of course, there was a barrage of executive orders targeting the whole immigration shutdown. That's a big one that a lot of people really, really wanted. So immediately, executive orders sealing the border, taking away the whole app, including where that app was used as a gateway for them to receive funds, taxpayer funds, billions and billions of dollars. And of course, all these billions of dollars are just printed out of thin air, adding to the cost of inflation, adding to the cost for everyday people, where the average American is subsidizing all these things, of course, without ever being asked. That's why people hate it. With other orders essentially revoking all executive orders issued by Biden regarding the open borders, with another order directing Fed agents to start deporting, especially the criminals, especially those with a criminal record. And a hugely important one is an executive order designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. It's huge. That's one order that you would have thought would have been done decades ago. It's like these people were cutting deals before with the US politicians to not be designated terrorist organizations. And if you've ever gone right by the border, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. There was another order to rename the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America. Hey, what the hell? Why not? Another really big and important move was to get the US out of the World Health Organization. Those crooks there, of course, partially responsible for all the mayhem during C-19, with one of the most annoying figures out of the whole C-19 scenario, of course, Fauci, Mr. Trust the Science, Mr. I am the science, was, of course, pardoned. So, nothing says that all that stuff was a sham. Nothing says that like pardoning Fauci. Of course, Biden, well, the guy could care less what planet he's on. He was just along for the ride. Safe and effective, of course. Furthermore, there were scores of other executive orders mainly focused on prioritizing American interests, whether here or abroad, and specifically American citizens, whether here or abroad. Trump tornado all over DC. And part of the culture wars, another big one, which was he made a promise to make official policy that the US government only recognized two genders. Recognize the biology of the two sexes, male and female, of course. Where honestly a lot of normal people were just so sick of the whole pronoun wars, the whole infinite gender issue, that most normal people really, frankly, don't give a about. So even the people that hate the man, there's probably a lot of things that he signed that they would agree with. For example, unleashing energy, declaring straight off the bat a national energy emergency, which is huge, aiming to unlock America's full energy potential. And of course, part of that is to shut down all the regulations made by the previous administration. He signed another one directing all federal agencies to suspend, revise, and rescind all federal policies restricting American energy production. It's huge. He also terminated President Biden's whole electric vehicle mandate. Thank God. Another executive order highlighting the whole unleashing of American energy production, highlighting that its main purpose is to bring down costs. That's huge, because electric and gas costs have skyrocketed along, of course, with inflation. As the dollar is devalued, all these energy costs keep going up and up and up. It's never freaking ending. With another order removing the US from the Paris agreements. I've noticed a pattern that the two parties, they fight all the time. But depending on who's in office, well, the energy prices kind of reflect it. It's kind of strange. It's kind of weird, but it's a pattern. It's a big pattern. And another executive order actually signed pausing all new and renewal of federal leasing and permitting for both onshore and offshore wind projects. That, I think, is kind of very important, especially out in the ocean, because there's been a lot of cases with beached whales, things that harm marine life. And that stuff is nasty, because we as humans don't know how the electromagnetic fields around these wind turbines are going to affect marine life. It's really bad for them. And another big executive order is getting rid of all the DEI stuff. Probably a good move, I would say. Most people, lefties and righties, most people really did hate the woke stuff. So, finally, seems to be ending. So, an absolutely new American era. Hopefully for the better. Even if you hate the man, hey, some good stuff in there. So, all really interesting things with Tornado Trump absolutely demolishing some of the whole globalist agenda that the previous administration was pushing that a lot of times seemed very, very anti-American, very anti-Western. All right, guys, well, that's it for now. Always a pleasure, of course. Please don't forget to smash the like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.